Okay, this is recording 663. This is going to be kind of long, so I'll probably break it into a couple of recordings. Okay, so, all right, let's see what first to go through here. Okay. All right, so more on what she did to me, stalking me all of my life. And this, everything, all the crimes she's committed is wrapped around my entire life. She controlled my life, as you know. Okay, she stalked me, she controlled my life. So going back to AIW early 70s, like 1976, with my Mother Goose book and then the World Book Encyclopedias. So I decoded all the ciphers out of that from my childhood when I was 5 years old. Okay, so this is more that goes to that. So she pre-planned to sacrifice me, as you know. So she's referring to me as the goose that laid the golden egg. Okay, and also her arranging the marriage between my dad and mom's marriages. So my mom's third marriage, Jeff. So another thing that Gene Roberts did is your goose is cooked, like threatening me. And then, goose, then that goes to noose. And then, Charles Manson used the noose. Okay, so our whole family's being stalked by Gene Roberts, who's leader of Charles Manson and her Manson occult. So then Mother Goose, and then she's referring to herself as my mom, and Jean Jernigan Roberts is not my mom. It's my dad's ex-girlfriend. And then also note that is also my kids' dad's initials. And you know what I turned her in for? Her and that nasty bastard. So, okay, so switching ahead. So one of the families, my second marriage, okay, their daughter had a dog, okay, and somebody brought this up to me. They said, do you know that she did this too? She ice raped her and her mom so she would have a corgi, which that was like her favorite dog. She freaking loved that dog. So core and then GI. And then she did that because she wanted, again, just like she did to me when I was little with my little friend named Corey. Everything is core, or ton. So, and then also see all GI code. Okay. So that's all the ciphers I told you about. I'm sorry, I'm being interrupted by her thanking herself. She's going, thank you. The ciphers I told you about where she went through like the ranks. I didn't even decode all the ranks. I just got through a couple of them. I'm like, this bitch is a psychopath. Where she's like stalking my dad. And then she's like using him and his like path in the military. And she's writing all these freaking nasty ciphers around my dad. And then his angst and pain and of his women cheating on him and all this saga. So, and has she changed today? No, everything is, you hear from Gene Roberts and her people today because they're the same people that wrote these Manson ciphers because they're fucking Charles Manson. It's Gene Roberts. Everything is freaking soap opera. Everything is freaking lies. Everything is freaking drama. And it's insane. So anyway, also, she's using the C and the D there. And also, her obsession with dog. It's satanic is what she's doing. Because everything rolls right back down to the dogs that guard the gates of hell. And I decoded all of that. Like, it goes all the way back to the 70s. And then how she referred to me as a dog when I was little. And then, like, I decoded that a bunch of times. And then everything is dog, 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 dog. Okay. But again, she's Charles Manson. You have to realize she's Ku Klux Klan. So, where we use cats and dogs and pop culture all the normal way, everything Jean does is freaking evil. So, anyway, also, okay, so something else I saw in this FOCS. I don't remember where I got FOCS from, though. I got FOCS from something and I knew instantly that means folks. But I don't remember where the FOCS came from. But I found it in something. I decoded something. And then it goes into FAO Schwarz. And then, she killed that company. And then that goes to the terror dial, the fuse clock. And then that was San Francisco, is what it was. I can't remember what it was. Where I got the FOCS at. So anyway, then also fail safe. So that's in there too. So what she's saying there is she's going to control my life. She's going to abuse me. She's going to lie about it. And she does it a million different ways. And then she cuts people in here or there. They don't know everything. They only know one this, one that. And everything they know is a lie. And she's got her Manson occult so huge, all the lies are covered. And so she'll be perfectly fine at getting away with robbing the cartel. Because she's got every lie in the freaking book to cover it up. So she's saying it's fail safe, which should make the cartel even madder. So anyway, so cut the rug and then dance. Cut the rug is in it, then dance is in it. Then cut the sofa is in it, where she ice to my dad to cut the sofa in half in Globe when I was little. Animal Farm is in it. Orson Welles is in it. Tulsa is in it. Totalitarianism is in it. And that totalitarianism is, I learned all about it. I decoded, I went and decoded, I wouldn't say heavily, but I mean, it's so glaringly obvious. It's all over the freaking place. I mean, there's not even use writing it down. But Animal Farm, Orson Welles. So it's connected to everything. It's connected to Jean's Into World plot, Jean hiding it under the Illuminati, how you've got to see Animal Farm. If you don't understand what totalitarianism is, and if you don't understand that that's happening in Tulsa, what everybody is sucked into, okay, Animal Farm is an easy read. Okay, it's about a type of government, okay, like an oligarchy. And even that totally awesome. And then oligarchy, Ollie's then the old game, AIW, Ollie, Oxenfree, but Ollie's a skateboarding trick. So Animal Farm is written as a cartoon or as a children's story, but it's very, 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 very political. So anyway, inside that, she's making references to Nostradamus. She's like, it's blasphemizing the Holy Bible. It's like, but what it's about is luring people into a box or a cage with whatever entices them or whatever they think entices them. So if something is not enticing them, and then it entices your friend, then they entice your friend, and then you go, oh, my friend's going over there, let me go over there too. whatever it takes to get you in the cage, and everything is good times, party, ha ha. And then next thing you know, you realize you are held in captivity. And you realize you are chained, but it looks like you're free because this is all done on a farm. So as if you're like the animals and you're grazing, but you're not like living free. You're or like an animal at the zoo. So anyway, so the animals all get together and decide how to overthrow the farmer. And so the whole totalitarianism government comes out. And so you really should watch it all. So anyway, so Orson Welles' Animal Farm is in this. And then also, I don't know how I got, this was a different subject or how I got to this. This was a funny thing, but this really made it into the movie. Okay, so there's this thing that they probably still make today. I don't live in California, Arizona, so I don't have any idea. But it's called Mr. Zog's Sex Wax, and it's flavored wax and it looks like it's in Copenhagen, like chewing tobacco, like a round disc, and it comes in all different flavors, and they're like $1 a thing. Or the last I knew they were only like $1. Anyway, so you bite the chunk off and you sit there and you chew on flavored wax. And what it's used for is surfers use it and keep it in their mouth, I guess, to wax their surfboards with. And so you get all different flavored stuff. So when I was in junior high, when I went to Willis when I was in junior high, like that stuff was everywhere. Everybody freaking had it. Everybody had it. So I was in class one day and they were passing around the Mr. Zog's sex wax. And everybody's like, ooh, I want some. I want some. So the whole class, everybody's cheeks were like bulging full. And everybody's mouth was like full. Like my mouth was full. Everybody's mouth was freaking full. And we basically got in trouble because our mouths were all full of freaking Mr. Zog's. So it was so funny that it made it into a Christmas Story with Peter Billingsley. And you know Billabong, so Billabong. So again, Gene Roberts would have done this, and this is cute and funny, but the fact that she's making a reference with what the name is, no, that's not cute. What's cute and funny is the surfer stuff, and then Peter Billings is you keep the good, and then Gene Roberts gets turned in. And also his cheeks were super freaking, Peter Billingsley's cheeks are super chubby like mine. My cheeks are super freaking chubby. Even if I'm skinny, my cheeks are chubby. So anyway, another thing is so Foley. Okay, so Foley is the name of a manufacturer of a catheter. Okay, I think it's like, maybe it's the device that is put in you. I think it's called a Foley, Foley. Okay, so anyway, remember the store Foley's Red Apple sale? Okay, so remember what I told you what Gene Roberts did to me when I was little, very little, around 6 years old. And she did that by ice raping my mom. She did that by ice raping me. And she made some deal with those doctors. I don't know how she got away with doing what she did. But she stuck an implant in me is what she did. And I'm still traumatized by it. I've always been traumatized by it my entire life. It was excruciating. If you ask my mom would probably remember it because I was screaming bloody freaking murder and being restrained. And it was supposed to be just a catheter. And she's put it in the doctors put it in my urethra. Anyway, then I heard later on, Jean paid the doctors, and someone said it was Jean and her ex-husband, Michael, and that they paid the doctors to do it. And then she said, I didn't do it, Michael did it. And see, I don't know who freaking did what. And then her ex-husband, Michael, is a Marine. And he's a doctor. And she told me in my brain, I never met her husband except in AI, but she told me in my brain when I lived in Slidell that he works for Ochsner. And I really believed that for a minute. But then I'm like, how could he work at Ochsner? She probably had another freaking husband at Ochsner. Because how could he work at Ochsner when she said she was trying to get her son a job there? And they were like, no, they do not want Jesse working at Ochsner. They know what Jean is up to. They didn't know all the way, not like they know now, but they knew she was no good. And they did not want her son because he was working at a casino and got fired from the casino. And the casino was a Native American casino, and the casino was pissed off at him. And I don't know why in Tulsa, Native Americans just love Gene Roberts to death. But I'm telling you, it is not like that in Louisiana. And they're like, no, 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 no. But the casino he worked at, I think, was in Georgia. And so she was like, I'm going to see if I could get him a job at Ochsner. And then in my brain, people started freaking out. They're like, no, he's not getting a job at Ochsner. No. So then something was said. I didn't say anything. I just keep it to myself, what's being said to me. And then something was said. And it's like how she pulls here. Like somebody says something and then it's like a day later or 2 days later and she's like mic dropping and she's like and then just totally annihilating over the top of whoever told her to go fuck herself, go screw herself, and she just does whatever the hell she fucking wants anyway. And she pulls that stunt here all the freaking time. And people get super freaking pissed. And the only way to get around this is to make reports against her and turn her in. So anyway, she said it was something later on, and she was being like, this was in person. She was like, and she was acting like she was signaling stuff in my brain, and she was like letting me know. And then by her actions, she was letting me know that she was in with the chief hospital. I can't remember the titles all. The chief hospital. The chief medical officer. I don't know. There's the head guy of the hospital. I used to know his name. Warner, that was his name. So anyway, and he doesn't work there anymore. He works for American Heart Association. But anyway, so she was just like she was going to get her way. So I don't know what she's doing because she's using AI on people and she's trying to work people over. She's got her little Manson occult following her everywhere. And she gets her way with anything she freaking wants, but she didn't end up getting her way. And now she's in a lot of trouble. So, which she should have been in trouble for all this back then. So, okay, so inside this, so San Francisco, also San Francisco, pointing out San Francisco 49ers, which I've already decoded this, but I'm adding this in, has 419 in it. It also has gold in it, which is AU, and then safe. So that's another thing to point out there is SF safe. And then also the Fonz is in it, but it's FONS like phones and then Fonz. So then you know anything with phones is Silent War, and you know Fonz, anything with that, that's her Happy Days terror plot. And then you go look at the head of the nuclear agency today, and that guy's name is Fonz. And when I realized that, I was like, oh my God. And he talked to me, and he's like everybody else is. Nobody's going to take this serious as terrorism because look what she did to my freaking name. So anyway, also safe. So also Red Mountain High School, okay, where my senior graduating class, where I graduated high school, the lockers were red. Okay. So, you know, the San Francisco Bridge is red. Okay. And I used to break into, the lockers at my high school. I thought it was funny. And I would bang on the lockers like the Fonz. I would pull the thing up and then I'd like pound on the locker and the thing would open like presto. And so that all goes to this. So, and then the San Francisco phones. Okay, so I went to San Francisco on a trip and I took a tour. I went walking across the San Francisco Bridge. And the thing that was like freaking me out, which I couldn't, it was making me sadder than anything in the world, was the suicide phones on the bridge. And so anyway, so this is like going, so I know this is all connected. So then I go back and then I start decoding. When I'm in Slidell, I'm like decoding, going back. And so then I decode out a terror plot where she's got plots out on parts of the United States. And it's much more expanded and extended now. But one of them was San Francisco, the bridge. And then one of them was Disneyland. One of them was Disney World. She was making a die symbol. And I knew she already hit New York City, and I knew she already hit Oklahoma, which would be the center. But then when I was figuring out later on is that it layers over. So it's not like she hits one place one time. She's got layers of terrorism planned. So then I started figuring out what all her designs were with the triangles, and then by doing research and figuring out exactly what her terror plots were with everything. So the 5-sided die is actually more extended to that, but that's a design of one of her terror plots, which goes this. So that would be the point in the upper left corner. So, and then also to point out in one song, this tells you 60 years, Jean Jernigan Roberts, Navy Gal 27 at yahoo.com. 60 freaking years. She has been trafficking and stalking families and abusing kids and adults in trafficking rings and committing terrorism. And has been getting away with this entire dang time. Okay, then I'm born in 1971, and she thinks she's just going to continue it on with me. And no, the hell you're not, Jean Roberts. You're not blaming this on anyone else. I know you like to get your little stick out and point at everybody else. No, Jean. You're the one that did this. Everyone can tell that you did this. Besides, I'm on the internet with audio recordings. What does Jean do? Jean hides, sneaks, and lies, and heavily depends on telling lies with artificial intelligence and threatening and coercing people to do everything she says. So Anyway, so in one song, let me tell you, you can tell what a bad person she is. Okay. In 1983, pre-planned release, and it's not the artist. I told you she likes to ice rape the artist, and she likes to control the videography. She likes to control the songwriting. She likes to control the timing and the releases of the music. And I know there are artists everywhere out there that have gotten ripped off financially left and right. I mean, she has literally controlled everything. Okay. So if she approaches music in person and goes, hey, you know a small piece, which is probably a lie, because she's got to feed the lies out, which, like you find out later, no, Gene Roberts has been lying the entire time, and holy freaking cow. So in one song, Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me. Do you remember that song? Okay, so in this song, you can tell that Gene stalked and assaulted me. Also, my family members, my second husband. Remember I told you I turned her in. Well, even in these recordings, you guys know she assaulted my second husband's family, his daughter and her mother. Okay. Also, Steven, which you guys already know that. She bred that kid too. I mean, she made sure to kill Steven parent first before Steven was born, and she bred him, and then she planned to abuse him, and that's her, like, golden boy or whatever. And I'm supposed to be like, she wants me to be like upset. Why would I be upset? You abused both of us. In this case, she abused us both with artificial intelligence because it's hands-free, as I told you. It's her hands-free of getting away, of abusing children. Her COC rings, and that's what she names them. Okay, so we were kids. So anyway, and both myself and the kid, which he's younger than me, but I mean, we're basically the same freaking age. Okay, so this is like 40, 50 years ago. Okay, so anyway, I got to talk to him in mental telepathy when I lived in Texas, and he tried like freaking hell to get Jean Jernigan Robertson or Manson Occult to quit, but she wouldn't freaking quit. And he said, she's trying to force me into doing this media thing with her, and I can't even look at her because I know she's the one who abused me. And then he goes, and I know she's the one who abused you too. Like, he goes, I know we're both victims, and I know she's the abuser, but yet she wants to force me out into some sort of like campaign for anti-abuse, and I'm about to fucking puke because she's the one who fucking abused me, and I was supposed to keep my mouth shut and looking at her knowing that she fucking abused me, and she runs around like she's campaigning with the media to save the kids, and she's like making me like I'm not even allowed to talk. Like, I can't do any, like he was saying, I can't talk, I can't do anything. Like, she literally forced that on her victims directly, saying she would handle everything and nobody can talk. And they all know, including myself. And I'm the one that can speak because I'm a Scorpio child. I have all the evidence. This wraps around my whole life. And then I find out everything, all the crimes she committed before I was born, and all the crimes she plans in the future. Because trust me, if I wasn't the Scorpio child, and it was a whole different situation, I would be just another kid that she assaulted and she forced into silence while she runs her freaking gag. So anyway, he was just like, and he came on several times after that. Like, she would come on and people would be like, you know what? There'd be like arguing going on in my brain. And they'd be like, you know what, Gene? Why don't you fucking quit? Fucking stop. And people had the power to kick her off, like to mute her and kick her off. And it would go quiet. And then she'd come back at it again. And then people told me where they were like, you know what? They know eventually I'm going to end up making reports against Jean Roberts. She's going to end up getting arrested for this. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's got to end. So I'm like, they're just like telling me, just like, this is what you can do, Christina. Is just freaking ignore her. Literally freaking ignore her. She abused you when you were a child. She tried to traffic you. She tried to make tons of freaking money off it. She tried to trick and assault and silence celebrities into her fake cause. She tried to manipulate the military. She tried to manipulate and con everyone. She did it on purpose, on purpose, on purpose. It's not just because she's a damn pervert. She did it on purpose as a sacrificial maneuver in planning to do the World Trade Center attack. I mean, everything is freaking pre-planned. She is the one with her Manson Nicole who did the World Trade Center attack, and she thinks she's got all her pieces in place, and she can blame everybody else, and everybody else has to take the fall, and Blonde Bombshell gets away with it, and I decoded that. She literally called herself a blonde bombshell, meaning she's empty, and she would show herself in my brain. She would put her, Jean Roberts would put her presence in my brain and make herself like a translucent, like empty form. Like you could see like her exterior, but the inside of her body was invisible. And she'd be like bragging, like she got away with it. And she knows I decoded, and it's old. It's like from the 70s. From when I was in grade school, her plot and plan trying to frame the Marine Corps. And she's just fabulous, and she can't help it. She'll just get away with it. And I'm like, you're so full of fucking shit. And then, I mean, so anyways, that's really like Christina, because all they can tell me is just freaking ignore. If she's in your brain, just blah, blah, blah. Just freaking ignore. Because eventually they know, I'm going to make reports against her. I made reports against her in person. I made online reports. I made reports against her in person. I've got cases open against her. And now we know she's got hostages. She's been having hostages for a very long time. And she's got a couple of different kind of hostage rackets going on. And she's got ballistics. And now she wants to make it even like, she really wants to try to hide it under the American Indian movement. And from what I know from Native Americans, they're like, no, they have a movement and people are going to know their movement. But this is like ridiculous. They're getting pissed because Jean wanting to get away with committing terrorism and running child trafficking rings is more important than anybody else's needs in the United States of America or the world. And if you just do what she says and help her get the fuck away with it, she might give you a little something here and there. No. The United States population is not your servants begging for a pittance from you because you forced them to cover your ass and tricked them. They didn't even know you were guilty. No. Jean needs to be arrested, and the United States has got to continue moving forward in the right direction of equal pay. Like, screw Jean shit. Fucking arrest Jean, electrocute her. Put me on TV. Put her on TV. Put our court session on TV. I'll tear the shit out of her. I'm not kidding. I will tear this shit out of her. I will fuck her up. I swear to God. Anyway, like, let's get this over with, because people shouldn't be forced into those kind of positions. I mean, can we focus on like the needs of everybody everywhere, like regular pay, better pay, equal opportunity, like all the things that everybody wants to talk about, but the whole United States is on freaking pause because freaking Navy Gal 27 wants to get away with running a freaking crime ring and committing terrorism. I mean, we look like our country looks crazy. And then you got me making broadcasts online because this is my only way to get reports through. But I got so much I have to report. This is actually a blessing in disguise because everybody around the world can hear what's going on until Gene can be arrested. Because everybody knows, everybody's up to date, everybody knows the same thing. Because other than that, you're going to be stuck listening to Gene and her Charles Manson occult and her Ted Kaczynski's running around with their freaking magic lie AI machine that they stole and all their crap. I mean, so anyway, okay, so also Ben, okay, because she gunny sacked all of us is what she did. That's gunny sacking. Okay, so also Ben, because Rockwall is in Texas. Okay, it's next to Mesquite, Texas. And then also she did that too, Mesquite. Okay, so that also goes to her doing the Las Vegas shooting, because the guy was from Mesquite, Texas, and he was also from Mesquite, Nevada. Okay, but it's someone in her Manson occult. Okay, so it's Gene Roberts committed the crime. So Mesquite and then Quiet, and see all decode on the Las Vegas shooting. See all decode on Mesquite. I did so much decode, it's insane. I decoded so much of this, it's insane. Like page after page after page after page. So anyway, so that shows way in advance her stalking and gunny sacking my third husband, Ben. Okay. So anyway, also she used Maxwell and Rockwell. Okay. So Maxwell, she's saying Max Rock. She's freaking gross. And then what she's doing there is, and she's probably using that also as a 9/11 reference, I bet you anything. Because look, American Airlines, American X, or American Express. But anyway, there's some Maxwell coffee. Okay, you know she killed Annie Folger. Okay, so Maxwell Coffee, so their slogan is good to the last drop. So you see all the ways that she used good to the last drop. So, okay, so that's going to end this recording, and I got another recording to do. It's going to be super, super long, so I'm going to probably cut it into multiple recordings.